Recording in progress. Good afternoon. It is Thursday, July 8th. I am Brooke Silva, Regional Tech Trainer for Keller Williams New England. And today I am joined again with Nate Pichette from Uga Marketing and Tom Wright from Uga Marketing. And we're going to do our second part of the series in our social media series, our Set It and Forget It. So let me get a few links up here for you guys. Quick reminder, shameless plug, Mega Camp is the tickets are live for local Mega Camp at Mohegan Sun. Now, if you guys already snagged a ticket for the digital one, forward me your registration if you want to go to the local one at Mohegan Sun, and we'll give you a promo code that helps take care of that difference. And you can just email me at b.silva@kw.com. All right, Nate, let's pin us up to the top and spotlight us for everyone. Pin.
Hi, everybody.
Hi. Nate, you want to just reintroduce yourself real quick in case people were not on last week and they have no idea who you are?
Yeah, my name is Nate Pichette. I am the founder of Uga Marketing. Uga Marketing was actually started to answer questions coming from Keller Williams about social media and how it works with Command. That's really what the foundation of it was. So we started Uga Marketing to support you guys.
And you have been such an incredible partner. I know in the market centers that we've got you in now, and we appreciate you taking the time to work with us as a region as well. So quick recap on last week. What did we learn about, Nate?
Last week we learned about how to get people engaged.
We did.
How to grab engagement.
We went over the anatomy of a post. What makes up a good post? How do we do calls to action, organic reach? Exactly, Carmela. So this week, what we're going to start talking about is, all right, I've got the social media. I'm getting the information from the growth call that KW New England's putting on, or things that KW is giving us, but it takes a lot of time, or it can be daunting and seem like an overwhelming task to create a social media calendar. Because we don't want dusty, crusty Facebooks, right? Is that good or bad for business, Nate?
Bad.
Bad. And remember last week, we gave you permission to post things that were not real estate related on your business page, right?
Real quick, guys. So I want to just build on that just a little bit because it leads into what we're talking about today. If you're constantly posting stuff that nobody cares about, Facebook actually penalizes you. So the part we covered last week, making sure that the stuff we're doing is engaging, is really important when we start doing more volume, because we can talk about it a little bit more depth as we get through this. But as you get more consistent with your post, and you should, you're going to want to make sure that you're hitting that engagement part that we talked about last week to broaden your organic reach. Otherwise, Facebook actually will rank you down, and fewer of your people will actually see the posts. All right. So it all works together.
Right. So we do want to post things that are non-real estate, right? We want to hit
Absolutely.
those. Remember, we talked about those 4 E's on our sheet. We really want to, we're not going to put something out every day that every person's going to be like, oh, this sings to my soul. I'm so glad I'm on this person's Facebook, right? But we're going to reach many. And when you reach many and things start showing up in people's feeds organically, then when you do have a real estate post that means something to them, that's where the magic comes in. But we've got to get you in front of these people first. And we do that by actually posting things. So we got to take the fear out of posting, and, raise your hand if you overthink every post and everything that goes out. And I'm looking at a whole bunch of people at that 538 Metro room that I know and love, that you just overthink it, right? That you decided, I'm going to be a marketing and graphic design person today, and I'm going to spend 7 hours on social media, and I'm going to do this. I'm getting private messages. How dare you call me out? Right? But it happens. But we've got some easy buttons for you guys. We really do. And they live inside Command. So today, as we're going on, I'm going to show you guys how you can use Command as your social media calendar, how we're going to time block and figure out not necessarily the post, but some of the themes. So that way we are posting things consistently. That's a big word in social media, right, Nate? Consistency is key, and why? Why is it
Uh,
so important?
well, for one, um, social media guys, the posts that you put out don't last very, very long, right? So because you put something out last week, that doesn't mean everyone's going to be able to, or everyone in your audience is going to be able to see it, right? So you have to make sure that you're consistently putting things out to make sure that you have the highest likelihood of reaching the largest audience, period. And the more consistent you are, and the more interaction you start getting, um, the higher the distribution rate is going to be for your posts if you do it right. So if you just post one thing every few weeks, it's going to be really hard to get any traction and build any real momentum. And it doesn't do really anything to create a brand for you. And chances are it's not going to be worth anything.
No. So let's stop worrying about the perfection piece, because there are some things built into Command as well. So that way you don't have to be a writer, a marketing genius, a graphic designer, right? So as I start to pull this up, Nate, do you want to talk a little bit about your social? Hold on one sec. Antoinette, do you have a question, or are you agreeing that you overthink some of these posts? I just want to make sure I answer any questions as we go.
Do you call me
Sorry,
Antoinette?
sorry, no, no, sorry, I have to.
That's okay. I just want to make sure we answer.
No, that was from, yeah, did you lower it for me?
I did. I
Okay.
have the power.
That was from when you asked the question about
Okay.
like who overthinks everything. Yeah, no, sorry.
No, that's okay. I just want to make sure we answer those questions. So, Nate, that social media calendar we started talking about, right? It's not an actual calendar of you're going to post this and this and this and this and this, right? Talk about how you kind of set up your social media calendar for clients while I pull up Command.
Oh, I'm so glad you asked this question because, when we first started out working with agents, the hardest thing to do was continually come up with ideas day after day. It was absolutely too much. To give you some idea, my team right now works with about 15 different groups.
Real estate groups.
Real estate groups. And we are constantly having to put together content. So without having a plan in place that made it easy for us, it was becoming impossible. And this is what I do for a living. So I can only imagine when you guys are trying to balance out your day, and social media is just a small part of that. Having to sit down and come up with ideas, one at a time, it's just really not going to work.
Hold on, we're in New England. Those are ideas.
Ideas.
Sorry, yeah, like you're going to lose people if you don't use our accent. And you're from here, so I'm disappointed in you. But anyway, continue
Well,
on.
I'm coming back there. So little thing, just if I sound a little like out of it a little bit, it's because I've been helping my wife pack the car because she's driving half of our stuff up there right now because we're moving back. Very
Woo!
Excited.
I'm very excited too.
All right, guys. Anyway, so what we started to do was with each one of our clients, we sit down at the beginning of each month and we talk about themes that we're going to touch upon for the month. So instead of just doing a calendar, what we want to do is we want to talk about who we're trying to connect to. Okay. So for this month, we might have a target audience of, let's say, first-time home buyers, right? We want to identify our audience as part of our calendar so that we're not searching for a message each and every time we put up a post. So if we're looking at the cool stuff that you guys have within Command that you can utilize, one of the things I'm asking myself, if let's say my theme is for first-time home buyers, one of the things I'm asking myself is, how does this connect to first-time home buyers? And what text can I write to frame it out that will make this appealing to first-time home buyers, or let first-time home buyers know this is for them?
Right.
Does that make sense?
That makes total sense. And it's, social media doesn't have to be spaghetti on a wall, right? We can literally not wait to throw things to see what sticks. Instead, let's come up with a plan. And, New England's got a great thing for you guys. We have the New England Growth Call every Monday at 2:00, where we help you by giving you emails, text scripts, dialogues, the social media posts. We have things like this or that Thursdays, vocab, would you rather, and they're all geared towards engagement. But outside of just that local resource, your market center has a ton of resources and you've got them in Command. So now, guys, we're not going to run through this workshop style today. We're going to kind of highlight this. Because remember, this is replayable and you're training locally at your market centers. Your MCTTs can help you with this. So I'm in command. You guys can all see my screen, right? Nate, you see it?
I see it.
Awesome. So now I'm in campaigns. Now, a lot of people and a lot of agents ignore campaigns because they think it's only for paid things, and it's not. Social posts live right inside campaigns, and there's so much knowledge here. So what you notice when I just click on campaigns is that you see quick posts, and the first thing it says is looking for inspiration. Put your own twist on the suggested post. And now something else I want to point out, because this is one of the objections I get from you guys often is, well, everybody's posting this. Well, guess what? You each follow one another, but you don't have the same audiences on your Facebook. So just because you see this 85 times on your feed, it doesn't matter. You still have a very different audience. But you know what? Help your buddies out. Like, love, engage on that so other people can see it and comment as well. So under the quick posts, you can see there's a few here. Calling all empty nesters. Today's mortgage rates are so small, you might need a magnifying glass, right? Don't like these? Great. Shuffle them. A bunch more pop up. Don't like these? Shuffle them again. Shuffle them again. And they're super simple because all you do is see this little arrow down here. You click it, and it starts to build the social post for you, right? So here's the content. We talked about those emojis last week, right? And not being overly aggressive with them. They put them in for you, right? How to pen a perfect letter, blah, 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 blah. And it's got the design for you. Your market center logo will pop in. And then you can schedule this to go immediately. Like, boom, post it. It's in the wind. Or you can now set up your social media calendar, right? So you can pick a time and date. Sorry, my computer's a little slow this afternoon. So I can say, you know what? Every Friday I want to post about ... whatever subject you pick for Fridays, right? Maybe you always spotlight a restaurant on Fridays so that the people who follow your Facebook go to that restaurant. But now I'm going to pick a date. I'm going to pick a time, and because I've connected my business account, I can schedule this post to go out. And that's as simple as that is. I'm going to end this real quick so it doesn't actually go. So now that I'm in social posts, say I sent that, it's in the wind, it's ready to go, you'll be able to see by week or by month exactly how many posts you have going and when. So if I had deployed that, you'd have a little blue Facebook right here. And I would see that I've got a post ready to go. Anthony, you have a question, my friend?
Yes. Okay. Quick question. So where it's linked to your Facebook business, I've had so many weird problems with it linking to Instagram. It was linked, and then I was like, okay, I don't want to post everything at the same time, or like stories. My Instagram story is like more personal, more just junk stuff, and vice versa. So I don't know if it's probably just on my end, but I noticed I cannot get it to cross post anymore, and it's checked. It says, okay, if I post a Facebook story, it'll post to Instagram. So I just wonder, like, these campaigns, like, let's say it does work or whatever, it does go to would go to a Twitter, Instagram, whatever's linked kind of deal.
So you cannot, if you notice, there's Facebook and there's Twitter, but there's not Instagram yet.
Wouldn't it go through? Would it feed through though? Because if Facebook is
so not necessarily.
No.
Instagram can post to Facebook. Facebook doesn't easily post to Instagram.
Okay.
There's different formatting rules when it comes to those two. The way that you would do that is if you were on your business page in the tool setting on the left-hand side, there is a way that you can share to Instagram, but that's only using that tool setting on the left-hand toolbar.
Yeah. And then there's some weird things too, like you can't do links, right? In Instagram or certain types of videos. So like you said, though, it's a different audience. So for this, we're going to focus on Facebook solely, but that is something you can do from within Facebook itself. But again, remember, sometimes the things we're trying to do on Facebook don't match your Instagram audience.
Yeah.
So
we build Instagram posts separately
Mhm.
to make sure that it sizes properly and that we're using the right hashtags and that we're not using links.
It's a totally different audience, right? It's
Totally,
just a completely different audience. I go on Instagram for a happy, warm hug, right? And to get a feeling. And then on Facebook, I'm information gathering or looking for something very specific. So thank you for asking that, Anthony. Antoinette, do you have a question?
Yes. So can you go back and show me how you were checking to see if you were connected to your business account and your social Facebook, your social?
Sure. So that one is in your settings. You have to have a business Facebook. And you just have to make sure in your settings under your name that you've connected everything.
Say that, wait a minute. So,
It's okay. So you go
where
up.
it says connect more, like where would I?
Yep. So if it's not up here at the top, it's probably down at the bottom somewhere for things you have not connected. Just scroll through your settings and it'll be on there.
Okay, it'll say connect here, right?
Yep. Yeah. It'll either say connect or connect more. But that's where that is.
Okay, thank you.
No problem. You have to have a business page. Like that's the other thing we talk about all the time is you have to have a business page. If you don't have a business page, you can't use this tool. That is such a huge leverage tool in your business when it comes to posting. So if you don't have one, get with your Market Center tech trainer or someone in your office to help you build that Facebook page for you. Did we have another question go up? I feel like
I have a question.
Sure.
You, when you, okay, let me see if I say this right. Do it for it to post. Will it, like if I want it done every week, would it automatically post every week until I disconnect it?
Nope, you have to tell it. So we wouldn't want something to post every week, the same image, the same wording. One post, one scheduled post will go to one Facebook thing. And then you'd have to do another one and another one. You don't want to repeat the same thing over and over and over. Same theme, awesome. Like this or that Thursdays, we talked about that, but not the same exact post.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
I have to go in automatically. Okay.
Yeah. So it's a scheduler. If you think about this, I just got the growth call stuff on Monday. So Monday afternoon from 2 to 3, I'm time blocked, or 3 to 4. And that's when I set up my social media for the week. So then the rest of the week, bye. It just goes off and it just happens for you automatically.
Okay. Thank you.
Maria.
Hi, Brooke. Quick question. How current is the content? So is it current? And then how often is new posts added?
So I know content is constantly added and dropped into this.
Okay.
Every Monday, we, as a region, we give you content for the week as well on those growth calls. So if you're not hitting those growth calls or in that Facebook group I posted, go ahead and jump in there. And you can still, if you miss the call, it's okay. We still give you the recording and what to do and the links to everything. And I'll pop that link up again in a minute. But yeah, you are able to shuffle this and shuffle this and shuffle this. And while it may have the same image every now and then, remember, you can swap that out. But if the wording is you, go for it, grab it, right?
Okay.
Mark Kavanaugh asked a great question in the chat, Nate, and I just want to bring this up real quick before we move on. And he said, when is the best time to post? And usually my default answer to this is it depends on your audience.
It depends on what you're saying too.
Right.
So if you've got something that's interesting, that's going to resonate with an audience, post it. Don't wait for the next day. So
Right.
we can get into a little bit more of that. General rule of thumb, if you're putting up just kind of more generic posts, it is better to hit some of those times that he mentioned. You're talking about early morning. Early morning catches people as they're starting their day. How many of you pick up your phone first thing? Is anyone else addicted enough where they just simply like, they wake up and they roll over and they go, oh, it's on Facebook. That happens. I do that all the time. I also pick it up around lunchtime. So if people are working standard jobs, they have a few minutes, they like to unplug.
I agree.
And then right after work, there is a bump as well. It kind of stays steadier as the evening goes on. If you don't hit it by early evening, chances are you should probably wait till morning or post the next day. So yeah, no, those times that you mentioned were actually spot on. And guys, we know this because of paid ads, because
Yeah.
I track the hours that paid ads actually generate leads. And it's first thing in the morning, lunchtime, and 6 o'clock.
Yeah. So you can see there's just a ton of these different social posts, right? So we've got beautiful posts with great copy, right? Easy copy that is asking for engagement. You've got the posts that are coming from the region. And now you do still have access to the suite in designs. So let's hop into designs real quick because I want to show you guys. So there was an overhaul in designs if you didn't see it. Just a little different. The plus button is gone at the bottom. So we're just going to create a quick social. Now, when you're in here, you're going to see social square and you're going to see social wide. Now, social wide is the Facebook, social square is the Instagram, but if you use the social square, it looks good everywhere. And there are so many templates here. They are all ready for you to do and go. You just got to swap out a logo, okay? So if you want to talk about your app, guess what? There's a social design ready to go. And if you click that social square at the top, it then breaks it down into all the ones that will fit and look great. There's stuff for listings, for buyers, for lead gen, right? There is so much stuff for birthdays, holidays, and then every time they add something, they plop it down here into new designs. So you're able to easily see what they just did. And there's that social square. Michael, do you have a question, friend?
Yeah, I got in a little late. So when you get into command, that megaphone going to the previous screen, the megaphone icon,
Yeah.
took you to the social media posts.
Yep.
Okay. So when you go into command, does it bring you right to this screen?
Nope. Nope.
Oh.
Command always just brings you to your home, to your
Your home
dashboard.
screen.
Yep.
And-
And then if you don't know what these little applet icons look like, you can either hover over them or you click that red KW, it expands it out, and then you can read the word of what it is.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. So let's hop back into designs real quick, right? Go back to social, la, 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 la. There we go. So we have all those new designs like we talked about. There's business basics, there's social branding. So if you need a new Facebook cover photo, business card, I mean, you name it, it's in here. I like looking under the holiday ones. Whoops. Oh no, hold on, let me refresh my cookies. I did something it did not like. There we go. I guess not. Oh, I broke it. Let's see if I can just get into this one. All right, nerd alert. Did you guys all see this on my page on Tuesday that it was not Monday? Okay. So you're able to design, swap out a logo, add a logo, right? Add a few things. So usually they come with a logo that is the default one that says the KWDBA logo. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I did not sign up at Keller Williams doing business as. So make sure you are swapping out those logos for yours. And it's as simple as clicking on, making sure that teal box is highlighted around it. And then you're going to come over here and use the replace logo. And that puts the logo in that you're supposed to be using. There, the white one looks good, right? Done. We're going to save it and off we go. Now you can also then in campaigns, bring in any of the social designs you've created. So maybe you don't want to use one of these social quick posts. I'm going to go to social posts. I'm going to create a new social post. And if you check this out right here, you can browse your designs library. So this means you don't have to create something in designs, save it to your desktop, then upload it again. You just click, look through your library. There's that Monday thing. And then you can go continue on making your post, write your text. It will preview over here. You've got your logo updated in your marketing profile, so that auto fills. Make sure you always put your ownership statement, and then you're ready to go. Schedule it or post it. And then again, you just keep shuffling these if you don't want to be creative in designs.
Wait a minute. What do you mean by your ownership statement?
So your ownership statement should be on anything that has a logo. So that is each office is independently owned and operated. So a lot of you guys forget it. And when you click apply, this will add it to whatever image you brought in. Okay, so that's a compliance thing with Keller Williams, where you everywhere the logo is, you have to have that.
So where did you find it?
It's included right in, so I'm in the social post making it. It's one of the check boxes down here.
Okay, so you're just checking it.
Yep, and click apply. The reason it's not checked is sometimes it's on some of the designs already. So if it's not there, you add it. If it's there, you don't need to worry about it. And your state may also have other compliance that you may need to add to things. It depends on the state. So they have to do for the many, not just the few. You can add videos. You can add links to things, right? There's all kinds of things you can do in these campaigns. But Nate, let's go back to you a little bit. And I really kind of want to dig into what it looks like to time block to do these things, right? So it's great that we have all these tools, but we need our agents to do it. And we need people to time block for it, right? So if you're not time blocking, talk to your productivity coach, talk to your leadership, talk to me, we'll talk about it. But you've got to time block to do some marketing for yourself.
All right, how many of you have ever time blocked something like for social media and just spent your time on Facebook scrolling through the feed? I see hands. Listen, time blocking is one thing, but you need to time block with a purpose. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'll just quickly run through the process that I go through each and every month with my clients, and you guys can just take that and use it for yourself. It's just a handy guide. And we did this through trial and error. Okay. This wasn't like, this is absolutely the best practice. No, this was, how do we do this and make it streamlined so that we're not pulling our hair out trying to think of something new every single day and wasting time thinking about ideas playing on Facebook, because it's addicting. Right?
It is so addicting. And
so addicting.
We are squirrels by nature.
I'm
a squirrel. I see baby videos or golf cart fails and I am down a rabbit hole. And that's why I love working my social media stuff out of command as well, because I'm not playing on the timeline. I'm not playing in Facebook, right? I am actually in command in my business, doing the things for my business I need to do without distraction.
Yeah, you're actually the one posting the squirrel videos. So let's not give you too much credit.
What else?
All right, guys. So listen, this is what I do. The first thing I want to do is know my audience. So each one of you are running your own business, really. I mean, you're promoting yourselves, right? So what I want you to think of is who your ideal client is and who do you want to be working with? Who are you trying to communicate with, right? So at the very top of your planning, and you can just on a piece of paper, it doesn't have to be anything crazy. No. Just write down who you're trying to talk to.
And is there a holiday this month? And do you have a theme this month?
We'll get there.
Mm-hmm.
First thing is who you're talking to.
Me.
It's the easiest thing to do in the world once you have an audience is write something that's tailored to the audience so that you're not guessing who you're trying to communicate with. Remember, social media is a communications platform. You're trying to communicate a message of value to an audience, right? So you have to know who that audience is. Okay, so first thing I would do is write down who you're trying to talk to. I use the example of first-time home buyers all the time. Real quick, when you're choosing content for the first-time home buyer, let's talk about first-time home buyer real quick. Are first-time home buyers the same and have the same needs as somebody who's buying maybe a vacation home?
No, they probably need a lot more hand-holding, right?
Yeah, do they have different questions for you?
Absolutely.
Do they have different fears and concerns that you're trying to help them overcome?
Absolutely.
Bingo. So do you see how that works? So you have to identify who you're trying to talk to when you're choosing your content, because it's not enough to say, I'm gonna put something up today and it's gonna be about refinancing or interest rates. Well, if I'm trying to talk to first-time home buyers, you got to frame that out for them, right?
Right.
Does this connect with my audience? So first thing is I would select is know your audience, who you're trying to communicate with. Next, pick a theme. Pick a theme for days. So what we've found is when we're time blocking, we still have to come up with content for individual days. We try to simplify it. So we'll pick themes for the individual days. So Monday might be Market Report Monday.
Right, because we still do have to talk about our industry. We just don't
Mhm.
need to barf the industry on people, right?
No, no. So think of it in this. So you might want to do your market report on Mondays. You might want to highlight a local business on a Wednesday. Maybe somebody that you can partner with. Go to a friend who runs a business. Maybe there's overlap in who your audience sets are. Maybe you've got a buddy who runs a pizza shop down the road. You can say, hey, I'm going to be doing some social media posts. I'd like to highlight your business. Do you mind if we do some co-branded stuff? Think of ideas like that to get other people engaged. Okay. But have a theme for it. You don't want to do this every day, right?
Right. And that also kind of does like a little memory jog or almost like a creativity explosion where you're like, it's going to be hot this weekend. My this or that Thursday. I want to know where people go swimming. Where are the best places to go swimming on the weekends? Right.
There's a lot of different ways to deliver the content, but the idea is you need to know what your days mean.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
It does. Carmela, that's a great. So I have a motivational Monday post that goes out. Every Monday, you get some type of weird nerd quote from me that has to do with weird motivation. So yes, Mondays are for motivation, right? Tuesdays could be for whatever you want.
It could be whatever you want. And guys, it doesn't have to be just about real estate.
Yeah,
You could
remember we gave
schedule out your goofball stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But just the idea is when you go to plan and you're time blocked, you should already know for every single week. On Mondays I do this, on Tuesdays I do this, on Thursdays I do this. It doesn't have to be every day, but you want it to be consistent enough. So what you do is when you're time blocking, you already know what you're trying to achieve within that time block.
Right.
That's what time blocking means. It's not just I've got to come up with something and be creative right now. How do you possibly schedule creativity? Right?
We have an
You
easy
don't.
button for
Mark's
that,
shaking
right?
his head for me, agreeing with me. You cannot schedule creativity. So
Can't.
what you have to do instead is you schedule the topics that you're gonna talk about, and then you can allow yourself to be creative on your own timeline.
Yeah, she shares everything.
Oops.
She follows the.
There we go.
All right. But that allows you to be kind of creative on your own schedule. So when you sit down, you may already have an idea,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Very much so. So we know our audience. My demographic may be very different than Joyce's, maybe very different than Anthony's. I'm a mom of kids. I'm involved in my community, but maybe Anthony is theater and production, and he's got a very different demographic of people. So we know that one, his people are probably looking at posts later, and that his themes may be centered or targeted around the activities that they will do and respond to for engagement, right? So very different. He and I love Anthony, but he and I have very different worlds we live in. So knowing your audience is important. And if you don't know your audience, think about your sphere. Think about the people who are in your database now who follow you, who do comment. Are you inviting your clients in? How are we getting those posts out there, right? So we've got know your audience, and then we're picking a theme, right? And if you don't know the theme, great. Don't worry, the region gives you themes during the week. So don't feel like you have to know those right away. We've got one agent that does dad jokes every week that are fun and hilarious. What else? So what's number 3? So we've got audience, then we've got themes for the days of the week.
Wednesday. Has anyone said what to do on Wednesday yet? Because I haven't heard anything on Wednesday.
Whatever you want. So
Brooke, you
any
should
of
know
these
what to
days
do
are
on
whatever you
Wednesdays.
want.
Yeah.
On
so-
Wednesdays, no one's picking up on this. What do we got? We got to wear something on Wednesday.
Yeah, on Wednesdays we
There you
wear
go.
pink. That's the deal.
Boom! Mean Girls Wednesday.
Mean Girls reference, right? But not a
Come
huge
on.
demographic would get that, right?
Remember your audience.
Right.
So guys, if you have a joke that's funny, which Anthony, that is funny. If only 5 people get it out of the whole group you're telling the joke to, it's not a funny joke. Even if 5 people are roaring, does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, so you want something that has a little bit of a broad appeal when you're talking about these types of posts.
Yeah.
Now, having them targeted towards an audience that you're trying to reach, that's one thing. It all depends on your audience, like Brooke said. I will tell you though that as you get good at this, like one of the things that we're doing with a group right now that we're actually starting this up. We're actually doing a series called Best in Town, where we're putting surveys out one week, and we're nominating businesses and people get to vote. How many people have seen the types of surveys where people vote on local favorites? Anybody?
Yeah.
Has
Actually, one of
anybody-
our brokerages just won best real estate in the Lakes region, right? Like,
Yeah, I would do more like pizza and beer.
oh, I know, but we get those. But again, they tagged us
Absolutely.
in their post about it.
So what you do though is, for this one, what we're doing is we're creating a survey, and we're utilizing lots of businesses within the survey that have large audiences and a broad reach on topics that people are actually passionate about, things that people will argue about.
Yeah.
Right.
Who has the best pizza is like the biggest battle of a town out there, right?
Pizza, sandwiches,
battle.
steaks, happy hour specials, who does the best this, whatever it could be, right? What we're going to do though is we're going to push that post hard for a solid week. That's one of our themes. But then the following week, what we're going to do is we're going to give the results.
Are you going to
So
do
we're
it
going to
live
circle
there?
back.
Are you going to give it live there?
They're not doing it live, but they're doing video on site highlighting the business that won.
Love it. Love it.
Does that make sense? And they're going to use it as team building because they've got a large team. They're going to use it as team building to try to incorporate their whole team to get more people involved. Guys, this is what I'm talking about when I talk about a theme. This is a more advanced theme, but I know that on the first Tuesday of every single month, we have to have a topic set. We have to have a battle set, right? So I can build these things way in advance, and then we launch it, we push it hard, we promote it for a solid week, and then we come back and I already know that the following Thursday is when we give the results.
Right. So you're picking your battle. I love that. Pick your battle Tuesday.
Picking our battle.
We're picking the battles, right?
Yeah, we're selecting the fight.
That's my world with a toddler, right? Pick your battles every day, and teenagers. And then, so you're setting yourself up and almost providing yourself content without even having to be creative, because you're literally following a schedule. And now you're setting an expectation in your community that, hey, when we have a grind battle or a clam roll battle or an ice cream battle, they're going to be on site. Lobster rolls. I mean, we are New England, but like I think of zip trips for this, right? Like when a community got picked to be on one of the news stations zip trips, right? Everybody was like, we're picked. Wilmington's going to be on the zip trip for whatever the TV station was, right? So it was an expectation set that this day I will know this. So what it's going to do is it's going to build expectations of your audience. And then let me tell you folks, when you forget to post it, when there's an expectation, you're going to hear about it, or you're going to lose followers. And that's when
you know it's connected though.
Yeah. That's when you know it's connected.
It's really working. Yeah.
Yep.
So guys, we're looking at this, that example that I gave you, we're looking at it building a brand. They want their weekly winners. They want it to be known. They want to create buzz around the weekly winners. They want to present the businesses with the weekly winners. Businesses love putting voted best of.
Oh yeah. It doesn't
Love
matter.
it.
Like, but even agents, we love those. We love those silly pieces of paper we get to put up on our desk of things that
Stickers.
we want. I want a sticker. I love stickers for everything, right? So what else this does is, what do we always talk about? How do you bring value? By being hyper local. What's going to help you stand out to someone who's looking to make the move to your area is that you know all the best places. You know who to call when something breaks. You are the hyper local neighborhood expert. And you do that through your social media, not through your website, not through other places, right? Your social media is your personal style and it's showing off your personality. We talked about that last week, right? We don't walk into a room with a sign that says, I sell real estate. Right? We don't, why would we treat our Facebook the same way we would treat going into a networking event, right? You don't walk in with your listing sign and slam it in the ground in front of someone, right? I mean, if you do, wow, cojones. But we shouldn't do that. Right?
Well, I mean, if it's been successful, go for it.
I mean,
What I would say, what I would say, guys, is this is just an example of how I go about planning. I don't overcomplicate things. I simply come up with an audience that I'm trying to reach, and then create kind of a theme for the month that I want to highlight. There's some really great stuff in Command. You know, one of our largest clients just recently brought something to my attention from Command, and we took it and we made it their own. But it was an idea that they got right from Command.
Yep.
All
You
right.
don't have to be copywriters. You don't have to be marketing or graphic design experts. What you just have to do is get consistent. I am tasking you all with a 66-day challenge starting next Thursday when we end the series to time block and to start getting consistent on social media because I'm
Purpose.
watching you. Purpose.
With purpose. Time block with purpose.
Yep. Right. And do it from Command so that we are not squirrels.
Hey, real quick, does anybody want to do social media because you want a fancy, nice, cool social media page?
I mean, I want it to
Or
look.
or do you want more clients?
Oh, I want clients. I want more clients.
Do it with purpose.
Yep. More clients. Let's everybody jump in the chat. Do you want more clients or do you just want to be a shiny Ferrari that doesn't drive?
Does anyone want less clients? Because I'm sure people in here will definitely help pick up the slack.
No, I don't know.
Yeah.
I think the vote is for more clients.
I think it is. So guys, with that being said, you have to have the purpose behind your social media post of, okay, this needs to be something that I use to generate clients. This needs to be something that I use to communicate. That's really what we're doing. A post is not a post. It's a communication piece.
Yes. You know, and something I want to point out that was brought up on one of our team leader calls by Laura in the Cape was that there are often demographics who are watching what you are doing, but they are not going to engage until they need you, right? That's you. You are a lurker. You are a serial lurker. Because you'll say, yeah, I saw your post, but I'm like, well, you didn't like it. You didn't love it. You didn't share it. Thanks a lot. But you're watching. So just because you're not getting engagement doesn't mean it's not working. And it also takes time to build your brand and your personality sometimes, and with those followers, right? If this is not instant, boom, you're a sensation overnight, unless you come up with a TikTok that just blows the masses away. But it takes time.
What I would add to that though, and this is important because Brooke's not wrong, but you still have to have enough reach on your post. And that is determined by how many likes, comments, shares you get.
Right. Right. This is where we talked about talking to our sphere, right? Last week, Joyce, I'll get to you in just a second. I see your hand, friend, where sometimes our family, when we're new in the business, doesn't know how to support us, right? They fear that we're going to constantly call them to give us people who are buying or selling or thinking of vacation home or force them into it. But if you start the conversation with your sphere and the people who love you and support you most and say, hey, listen, what I need from you is to like my page, share things, comment, like, or love. That's what I need from you. Could you do that for me? Oh, and if you see a spelling mistake, please text me, right? We're only human in this world. Joyce, what's your question, friend?
It's not a question. It's just that I'm not that good at social posts. I'm not good with social media and stuff like that. And that's the reason why I stay away from that. Because I really don't know how. And I know that's one of the ways you earn your clients. I do understand that. But I'm not that good at posts, and I'm scared if I put something on the post, it's not going to be, me in Facebook jail, and
Well,
Don't-
there are things to
yeah.
not post to stay out of jail, right?
Yeah, there's definitely things not to do. But Joyce, let me ask you this question.
Mhm.
If I were to put you in, let's say, a group of your friends, are you usually the quiet one, or are you very comfortable jumping right in?
Quiet one.
You're the quiet one? So this probably feels a little unnatural to you, right?
Hmm.
Do you have some loud friends that you know are always loud, that are just kind of all over the place and you can count on to jump on it first thing?
Yes.
Do yourself a favor and quietly go to those people and ask them for help.
Okay.
Yeah.
People want to be able, Brooke just mentioned it. If you're not comfortable putting things out, you can actually utilize your friends as a way to help you. So if that's not naturally who you are, go to a couple people that you know are really good at this, or really active on social media and can drive conversations, and just say, just lay it out. Say, hey, I need your help. I'm not comfortable doing this, but I've got to do it for my business. Do you mind helping me? Just get the word out. And a lot of the times those people be like, oh yeah, no worries. I'll give you guys a quick story, and then I'd like to open it up to questions if, Brooke, you're okay with that. Have we touched on everything that we
Absolutely.
need
I
to?
do see Antoinette's hand up, and we'll
Okay.
get to her after
Antoinette,
this.
hold
story.
on 1 second. I want to give you guys a little story, and I tell it, and I have examples for it in kind of some other settings. But about a year ago, right as COVID was hitting, I did a little experiment. I wanted to show people how organic leads could be generated. Real leads could be generated through social media. Okay. This is not paying for space. This is organic leads. So what I did was I created a survey. The survey was, if you're in business development, we would love to hear your plan for dealing with the COVID shutdown. Calling all sales leaders, tell us your plan for dealing with COVID. How are you going to make business happen now that COVID is a reality and we're now working remotely and we can't go to, so I built a post about it, and I built a survey about it. Now, I didn't just post it to my page. What I wanted to do was give a real world example. So what I did was I went to 10 friends of mine. In the morning of it, I went to 10 friends, and I said, guys, I'm about to put out a survey. It's a lead generating survey. It's to support my business, but more so it's to give examples that I can use to teach people how to do this. Do you mind doing 2 things for me? 1, comment and like. 2, share. Just take the post, comment, like it, and share. So what happened was, those 10 people, out of those 10 people, 8 of them got back to me within an hour. I put the post up at 11 o'clock in the afternoon, or right before lunch. And I have a pretty large social media following on LinkedIn. I have over 9,000 connections. So when my posts go big on LinkedIn, all of a sudden a lot of people see it. But 1, I targeted the right people, and I told people who it was for. So I wanted to get the right kind of engagement. If you were in HR, this was not for you. This was for sales. I told people that I'm talking to you. Okay. So if it wasn't for you, you just moved along. Anyway, I had 8 people comment, like, and share that post. The post only had a lifespan, even with that many people, only had a lifespan, because remember, everybody's posting things. And there's only so much space on social media platforms. It only had a lifespan of about 4 hours. After 4 hours, it was gone.
Right. It's gone.
How many leads do you think I got from that post?
Let's give put in the comments, how many leads do you think Nate got out of that?
I see 3.
Keep going, guys. Put those numbers in.
10, 15,
1,000.
That 1,000 would be amazing. No, 50. No, that was a lot. I had 17.
For 4 hours, 17
in 4 hours
that you didn't pay for.
that I didn't pay for. So to give you an idea, in my industry, in the marketing industry, the benchmark for a lead that exchanges a name, a phone number, and an email address, the benchmark for creating leads is about $28 a lead.
Right. And so what was your cost on that?
Free 99.
Free 99, sir. I love free 99.
It was free 99. So 17 times, like, I'll just say 25 for raw numbers.
Yeah.
It was $425 worth of advertising that I got for free.
Free 99.
Free 99.
Free 99. Right. So you
Now-
had the right audience.
And that's the best part, because how many of you have said, I got these leads, but they're not the right leads? Guess what? Every one of them was the right lead. I had what I would consider 4 whales. These were companies that were looking for sales training. They told me they were as part of the survey. They gave me all of the things that they were dealing with. And they told me that they were looking for sales training. And they managed sales teams of over 100 sales reps, 4 of them. Those are huge potential business partners for me. Every single person that took that survey was in leadership. The lowest title that we had come through was a manager. Everybody else was between director level and vice president of business development and sales. So it was an ideal audience set that responded to my survey because I had that audience and I asked my friends for help.
Yeah. And they want to help you, right? And they don't want to fear the phone calls from you. Your sphere doesn't want to fear those phone calls of, oh my God, Anthony's going to ask me if I know someone who's looking to buy, sell, invest, oh my God, or refer again, right? We want them to be happy when you call because you're going to have some type of value or they're going to feel helpful. So Antoinette, let's get to your question.
Yeah.
And then we'll open it up for all questions from everyone as we wrap up second part of the series.
Okay, so this is pretty quick. So like today is National Chocolate and Almond Day, for example.
Ooh.
So yeah, so lots of health benefits. And Joyce, maybe this one can help you too. I never know what to post and I'm always really apprehensive, like, oh, is this something okay to post? Am I like offending anybody or, whatever. So, and I don't have like this huge network of people on my social media on Facebook. I don't even know how to use Snapface or whatever it's called. So, and my kids, have tried to show me and whatever. My teenage daughters get really irritated, my younger ones, or whatever. Anyways, so back to my question. So I found this, so I Googled it and I found that, this little article on National Chocolate with Almond Day. So is it okay to take little parts of it, like, just saying, hello, today is National Chocolate and Almond Day, and here are the health benefits. And I found those health benefits online. And then is it possible to, share a recipe that I found online? Or is that like completely
That's completely fine, and I would encourage it. In fact, what I would do, is that something that you actually like? Do you like healthy eating, and is that something that you're into?
Yes and no. I absolutely love.
Chocolate and almonds.
I never know how thin I am, but I love junk food.
Okay. So here's one thing. So is it kind of universal that most people like junk food? Is there anyone here that doesn't like junk food?
Oh, give me some good potato chips. Those Cape Cods.
Yeah.
Those Cape Cods, they do me in.
So if you pass up the chips for a carrot stick, we're not friends.
Yeah.
All right. But what you could do is you could actually do a little bit of education in there. And that's really kind of cool. But that could be one of your themes. So one of your days, you could actually do like a healthy alternative to the goodies that we all really crave.
Right. Or tips and tricks on how to stay healthy at work.
How to stay healthy. How to stay healthy. Yeah, all that stuff. All that stuff.
But also you got to ask for engagement on that post, right? That's where you say it's Chocolate and Almonds Day. Combine chocolate or almonds or both, right? You've got to still ask for that engagement somehow so that people are putting information down. And next week, guys, we're going to learn what to do when people start interacting on your posts, because you're going to be like, huh, 42 people like this post. What do I do? 3 people shared. What do I do? Nate, what do I do? People are engaging on my post. What do I do?
See you next week.
Yeah, we'll tell you next week. Stay tuned.
Wait a
Folks.
second. Can you go back, because you actually just really said something. So you then go ahead and ask people like on your posts, like to comment?
Yes.
Yeah, why not?
If you don't tell people what to do, they're not going to do it.
Okay, so this is a theme that I want everybody to just latch onto. You have to tell people what to do on every bit of your marketing.
Yeah.
I don't care whether it is a flyer, whether it is a sign, whether it is a newsletter, email, a social media post, or a paid ad. People will not pay attention if they have to guess what they are supposed to do.
Right, because you're basically giving them permission to ignore you.
Mm-hmm. And they will. But if you ask very, very pointed questions and give pointed directions on what you expect them to do, people are more likely to take that step. And if they don't take that step, they say, well, I put this up and nobody commented and nobody liked and nobody shared. Well, did you tell anybody to do that?
Right. Or did you ask in a way that may have been confusing, too many steps? Keep it clear, keep it concise, like not too many things, right? Comment below with which one, A or B, smiley face or frown face, right? Folks, keep it so simple.
Or what's your favorite chocolate almond treat?
Yeah.
There's a lot of different ways to do it, and there's no wrong answer.
Mine's an almond joy, just in case you wanted to put that as a
Joys.
note in your command database that Brooks loves, Smounds, and anything with coconut, chocolate, almond, all that.
I like almond joys. I also like the almond Snickers.
I like the almond joy ice cream bars that you can sometimes find. Oh yeah, now we're going off topic. We have a few. Antoinette, did that answer your question?
Yes, thank you
We're
so much.
squirreling again.
Yeah, I know, right? It's because food, like I'm a food motivated animal. So we start talking food and then I'm just, wee.
Ditto.
Anybody else? Anybody else have questions?
Give them a minute. All right, let's take 2 ahas before we wrap up series 2 in our social media communication series. And if you don't come off mute, I'm gonna find you. Anthony, what you got for me as an aha, baby?
Okay, so I got one, and I mean it as polite as possible. Some of the older, our beautiful older folks, you know, someone like me, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna make all these little doodads and things, and I've noticed it in person when I talk to them. They're like, oh, I don't want to. Oh, you have a scannable business card? I don't want to scan this. Because they think like, okay, if I scan this, my phone's going to get hacked or something. I'm like, okay, I mean, thank you for giving me that credit. I mean, you know, I'm glad you think I'm capable of that, but you know, so sometimes, and you know, keeping it nice and simple and baseline, I feel like is really good. You know, just basic, like, what's your favorite, you know, all those little generated ones like pool or backyard garden or whatever, like stuff like that. Just get the, you know, kind of the older crowd talking, because they'll probably go and go and go. Because I see it on Facebook, they will keep on throwing it in. So,
yep, keep it simple. Don't overcomplicate it. Know your audience and keep it simple. So I'm glad you like that aha. So Erica in the comments said, ask for a comment, right? If we don't tell them what to do, they're not going to do it. What else we got? One more. Give me one more aha from today, and then we will wrap it up.
Or maybe also give them an option, like 2 options to choose one. It's kind of
This or that.
Conversation, and promote them to make them actually get engaged and involved.
So I saw a great one a few weeks ago where somebody put up 2 different bathtubs. One of the bathtubs was crystal clear, like you could see everything if you were bathing. And the other one was this gorgeous old school claw tub. She had 47 comments in 10 minutes. 47 comments because that clear bathtub scared everybody. And everybody had to comment on it, right? So yes, I love those too. Well, guys, we are out of time today. Thank you so much, Nate, and your UGA marketing team. I love you just so much. Thank you for showering our agents with love and attention. Next week, wrapping up the series, it is, oh my God, people are engaging. What do I do? What do I do? And what do I do with this information? And we're going to go over that with you next week. So we'll see you next week. Again, make sure you sign up for Mega Camp. Link is in there, KWNEmegacamp.com. 80s party the first night. Not saying anything. 80s party the first night. Costume choices there. 80s party the first night. See you on the Zoomies, guys. Have a great afternoon. Thank you, Nate. Thank you, Tommy. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
Bye, Anthony.
Yep.